Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just a second. Let me get that here. Let me share this. Let me share that. Let me share this. And I think we're good to go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let me just greet everybody and then we'll get started. Hopefully you guys could hear me okay, see me okay in a second. I'll be sharing the screen in just a second here for anybody on YouTube. We got John, we got CJ, we got Gregory, we got Devin, Jill, good morning, Ivano, good morning, Harry, Vernon, David, Christian. Hope you guys are all doing good. Jill, I hope the doggy's doing good. Hope the allergies gone. I got those CBD pills you recommended, by the way. I'll let you know how it goes. Harry, Vernon, David, Christian, Brian, Cheese Grater Trader. The sassy trainers in the house. Debbie, Pete, Robert, Bugs. We got Robert, Matt, Richard, Eduardo, Javad, Dave, Cifazio, Delroy, James, Kevin, Rice, Arnulfo, Anukumar, Sean, Wade, Mike, Wayne, Dave, Warren. Hey, Kirk. Haven't seen you in a while. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. John always sends me funny Facebook memes, which are hilarious. Richard from Fuente Gorde, good morning. We got Art, we got Genevieve, Omar from France. And it's a normal time of day there right now. It's like almost dinner time there. Genevieve, Illinois grain farmer. Jody, we got HG from Israel. Welcome, 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 everybody. Let me just go on. I lost my track. There's a lot of people here. We got JB, we got Walt, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Good to see you. Always good to see you, Richard. Ray, Steven, Sherman's in the house. Henry, Sherman, I haven't heard from you lately. Let me know how you've been doing. Moondog, Kevin, Steve, John, Wesley, Bill, Michael, another Omar. Karen the Shark is here. Ralph, Mark, Junior Tunnel is here. Gregory, James, Kevin, Mike, Mitch, Vertuvian, Rachel, Chad, Gregory, Keyhawk Farmer, Tom, Timothy, Dave, Hopium, Deanna, George, uh, Harold, Peanuts in the house. Hey, there's Peanuts. Lori, Raj, Candy, Stacy, 14. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Perfect time right now. Scotty's in the house. Richard's in the house. Thomas is in the house. Kay Lopez is in the house. In Aloha, oh, Hawaii. That's where I would not want to be right now, 2 in the morning. That's a little ungodly. And the better question is, Kay Lopez is, what in the world are you doing watching me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Eagle says, good morning now in live trading for e-minis. Yeah, spies. Great, great, great. Tom, Russell, that's Skip from Chicago, Richard, Paul, Chris, Justin. Do we have Cam and Gustavo? Or Cam and Gustavo here? Always good to see our own people here. Justin, Edward, Chris, Paul. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. We got about almost 300 people here. We got a lot to talk about. And I hope you guys were here yesterday, and I hope you've been catching some of the trades that I've been giving you guys in the pit and in the other channels like Oracle. By the way, Oracle got upgraded. I know we made over 40 or 35 or 40% on it, and I gave it for Quick Strike and the pit, but it's even higher this morning. And it's on a cusp of being a catalyst. All right, so first things first. Oh, yes, first things first. Make sure you're watching at 1080p. Please go here and make sure you're not on auto. Auto sometimes can take you to a lower quality and you won't even know about it. Force 1080p, your quality will be much, much better. Much, much better. And also, please give us a thumbs up. I would appreciate a thumbs up. It gives us, I haven't seen any result, but it's supposed to give us better visibility on YouTube, which makes more people see us. Yes, thank you, Bugs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stacy says, awesome Eagle. Have been trading a mini in my paper account. Have lots to learn. Eastern, Candy, Eagle Beagle, Sin, Jayothi, Jageno, you're from Jacksonville. I'm here in Ponte Vedra Beach. You should stop by sometimes. Have lunch with us. Carlos giving us the catalyst. Before we get the catalyst, let me give you the small cap stocks that I'm looking at real quick. It'll just take a second. I know we have some folks who like small caps, so I'll just give them to you right now. ABVE right here. I like to see the stock above 345, which would put us right here. So it's got a while to go. That's number one. Next one is open. Open has to open up above 220. Look at this move right here. This thing can really move, but it's got to go above 220 first. And then the last one is YINT. You'll see how it's breaking the 100 here. This but baby has to move above 155. Okay? Above 155. All right. So you got WINT, you got ABVE, and you got open. And I actually like open and wint the best. Okay. So that's that. Now, that was pretty quick. Now, good, Omar. Good. Excellent. Be careful. They got earnings, I think, coming out today. But be careful with that. But that was definitely on my list. Quite a lot on my list, actually. Let me see here. All right. Let me just put this in testimonials real quick. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, what are the catalysts for today? Hey, Bob, good to see you. I was asking about you. I have to some competition, Richard. You're killing it. Really happy. Yeah. Eagle Beagle's doing great. We got a lot of other people. Esther's been making money. Omar's been making money. A lot of folks have been joining the Richard Club lately. A lot of folks, not just one or two, but a lot. All right, let's do the catalysts. I think Carlos already put them up there, but I was too careless to write them down. So I'm going to go back to what Carlos wrote. Semiconductor, pharma. I don't have pharma on mine. That was already yesterday, Carlos. That's old news. J&J was yesterday. Bank earnings. I think bank earnings are already reported, and if they are not, they're reporting after the market today. But I'll have to take a look. ASML is old news. You got a couple, but you're missing some stuff. You're missing some stuff. Do we have anybody else with catalysts for today? Anybody else? Richard, retail sales report, yes. Earnings on Pepsi, ABT, GE. I don't know if they're coming out this morning, but GE is definitely a major player. Manufacturing, export, import, jobless claims, federal speakers. Well, you got a lot of them. You got a lot of them, my friend. ADM. Okay, well, you got it. You actually, Richard, I think has all of them, but I bunched ADM with Pepsi and Coke. I put them together because it's the same. It's the same thing. But I agree with you. So let me give you mine. And believe it or not, Richard, I think Richard might have gotten them all. That Richard from Puente Gorda, you got to watch him like a hawk. He's getting good at this. Okay, jobless claims, retail sales, manufacturing. So far, so good, Richard. We're. Then I got chip stocks because nothing to do with ASML. That's old news. That's in the past. Because Taiwan Semiconductor rose 4%, the world's largest contract chip maker. Do I need to show you the market cap of this one, or will you all believe me that this is a big daddy here? Okay, chip stocks. Pepsi, ADM. Pepsi because of their earnings, ADM because Trump is just going and just saying some nonsense, and but they're together. That's consumer staples. You see, that's consumer staples. This and this are consumer staples. So you're not wrong for listing both of them. I just bunched them together. And by the way, that Oracle stock you all made money on, it got upgraded. So if you're still holding it, congratulations. Now, did any of these stocks come out already? Netflix is after the market after the close. Let's see when GE comes out. I got to do this work myself here. Yep, that's today. So you guys got that one right. GE. Anything else? Um, Pepsi, GE, maybe a bank, USB, not big enough. So no bank stocks, maybe financial stocks because you got USB and IBKR, but I don't even know if they come out during the session or not. You guys have to be Carlos. You got to sharp up on your bank stocks. Say USB, it's not a major player, but it will impact bank stocks. And then the other one is what was the other one? Interactive broker. Let's take a look. So I wouldn't say bank stocks. I would say more financial stocks. No, and this is after the market closes. So no, I don't know about bank stocks. It's just one stock, maybe a little bit of bank stock. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. But I got this: jobless claims, retail sales, manufacturing, Fed, chip, airlines, because UAL, Pepsi, Coke, and ADM, all that is consumer staples. So I just put consumer staples in there. So General Motors, when is General Motors coming out? I don't have General Motors here. Trust me, General Motors would be here. I don't see General Motors here. Okay, so again, we're going back to my list. Consumer staples, airlines, chips, Fed, manufacturing, retail, jobless. All right. Yep, it was out last close, but the market hasn't had a chance to trade. USB, yeah, I'll give you financials. I'll give you bank stocks, although it's one stock, but I'll give it to you anyway. I'll give it to you anyway. Bank stocks. Banks are, and it is a week for bank stocks, so I'll give you that. So, as far as Fed data is concerned, jobless claims, retail sales, Philadelphia manufacturing index, import export prices. Now, I want to show you why it's super dangerous to listen to our president. I wasn't thinking this before, but I'm thinking maybe he's got some mental issues or something. He just went on and said that President Trump said Coca-Cola has agreed to use real cane sugar. They did not. They did not. They never ever agreed to that. So I'm starting to see that he just says shit. I mean, they never agreed to this. They never agreed to this, folks. Okay. So I have to be extra careful of this guy because he just says shit, which is really disturbing because he's the president of the United States. Presidents of the United States shouldn't just say shit. Okay. So this is really dangerous. When presidents just say stuff, just make stuff up, that's very, very dangerous. Be careful of that. Okay. I didn't think he was that out of it. I thought he was, a little out of it, but I didn't think he was just going to make stuff up. That's just nonsense. He's just creating things out of nothing. Coca-Cola said we're going to keep doing things according to federal guidelines. They don't have to use sugar. They're not going to use sugar. Sugar would completely destroy their market cap in the US. Okay. Mark, I'm trying to give people a benefit of the doubt. He is our president, right? Yeah, I know. And that's the other thing I wanted to raise. Firing Powell, hiring Powell, complete disregard for the US stock market. That's just not cool. So he's now on my danger zone list, okay? He's now on my danger zone list. Now, Musk was on my danger zone list. Now Trump is on my danger zone list because, folks, Coca-Cola is not going to put cane sugar into their drinks in the US. If they were, they'd do it many, many generations ago. Okay, it's too expensive. They do it in Mexico. They're not going to do it here. And it does taste different. And to be honest with you, I like the way it tastes better here. So let's talk about the market. The market's very flat. By the way, I hate to say I told you so yesterday. But remember what I was telling you about the market, how we need to hit the 15-day EMA, how we're getting a little overbought, how we're overextended. The odds are we're going to make a high at the beginning of the day, and then we're just going to come off. There's just not much there. We're going to be choppy. Chair, he said Biden. Yeah, please. So here's the thing. When Trump starts being this way, I just stop paying attention. All right. Yeah, they do in Mexico. Can't blame that on the press. I'm not blaming anything on the press. I'm blaming it on him. Yeah, firing Powell, Coca-Cola, all these tariffs. Like, folks, how about we just live in reality, okay? Let's live in reality, okay? Let's just live in reality. That is not reality, okay? But I am reality, and I do live in reality. And the market's very fragmented today. And I don't really see a lot of stuff. Um, yeah, but we're not going to see, Henry, what we can do and what we should do and what we're doing are very different things, you see? So just remember, when our president just comes up and says, I'm going to fire Powell, knowing that he has absolutely no authority to do so, that's disturbing. When he comes out and says the U.S. is going to use natural sugar and Coca-Cola comes out and basically in a nice way says, you're absolutely freaking crazy, real sugar Coke news here. News. Where's the Coke? Where's the Coke one here? Here. Res- right here. I read it this morning. I got excited. And then I read the response. And the response is go screw yourself. All Coca-Cola products are wholesome beverages manufactured in compliance with federal law. That's another way of saying, what the are you talking about? They never said that. Meanwhile, the stock is down 5%. Why? Why say things like this? Why? Dave, no, it's not good. It's completely. You like when he does it during the market hours when we're in a position and we get stopped out. It's not good. It's not good. All right, let's continue. I don't want to get into that. I'm just very disappointed that our president is saying some nonsense. But again, market is very diverged right now. We have no directional bias, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. We have earnings from major companies. Netflix comes out after the close. I'm glad that nobody said Netflix was a catalyst. Most people got this right. The only thing from here I would take is Pepsi, which I would put into the Coca-Cola ADM uh, story, which means consumer staples are going to be weaker today because of something someone said for absolutely no reason whatsoever. No, no, that's not a catalyst anymore. No, just not. That's not a buying opportunity in Coke. That's we have a president who just says shit opportunity. Uh, China is coming off a little softer. They couldn't get past this level right here. US dollar. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get all political, but like, the hell is he doing? We're still at the 50-day moving average here. We're still at the 50-day moving average right here. We need to get past this 50-day moving average. But I like what I'm seeing here, and we are negating this downtrend, which is really good. So I'm hoping we can pass this 50, close above 50, and start getting to the 100-day moving average. Okay. Bond market. The bond market's coming down. The bond market closed up yesterday, but look where it is right now. And remember, we have some Fed data. And also, if you look at the bond market, it's been coming off since about 7:25 in the morning. Okay. All right. So the bond market is not looking great here at all. Okay. Although yesterday's report was a really good report. Good morning, Vladimir. Good to see you here. Good to see you. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Mr. Kane will be in my room today, in my VIP room today. Do you guys want to know what my agenda for the VIP room is today? Does anybody care? Let me tell you what my agenda is. Here, let me give you my agenda. How to put together a hit list every morning, how to identify high probability trading candidates, how to make sure price is outside of random zone, locating clean price action, ideal entry criteria, ideal exit criteria. We're going to talk about exits today, where options fit into all of this, A to Z summary of how to identify high probability setups for swing trading and day trading. Now, how does that sound to you all? Does that sound like something we should skip or something you guys want to learn? I'm going to do it again. Putting together a hit list every morning, identifying high probability trading candidates, making sure prices outside of random zone, locating clean price action, something that most of you have absolutely no idea what it even means, ideal entry criteria, ideal exit criteria, and where options fit into all of that, A to Z summary of how to identify high probability trading, day trading, and swing trading opportunities. Now, I dare anybody to say that's not a good plan for today. And to give you a cherry on the top, Kane will be joining us. How does that sound? Does that sound like something? And we're not going to talk about politics at all. I just needed to get this out of my. I needed to get this out of my. The whole. Yeah, I need to get this out of my. I needed to get it out. Parker says the whole Coke thing came from a release from Coke he didn't read. Well, yeah, that's the problem, Parker. He should be a little more careful before. You see, the president of the United States is held to a higher standard than the average Joe. Would everybody agree to that? The president of the United States is held to a higher standard. I think everybody would agree to that. Therefore, the president of the United States has to take extra responsibility to make sure the things that come out of his mouth are truthful. That's all I wanted to say. All right. That's my agenda. All right. That's my agenda for today, and I'm sticking to it. And Trader Kane will join us. So bond market's breaking down. If we break below this level right here, 84.21, it's not going to be pretty. All right. And by the way, what I just said applies to every president, not the current one, every president. All right. Gold. Gold is doing nothing. Like when I say gold is doing nothing, we're just going to move this forward like nothing. It's not going down. It's not going up. It's just not doing anything. I think everybody's waiting to see how these tariffs are going to shake out. I know, Rodolfo, but we can hope. Yes, more careful. Like, more careful. Like, come on. Like, does he care about the market, us, people, Coca-Cola, Powell? He hired Powell. Why talk so much shit about him? It's embarrassing. Right, Rice, exactly. He is going back to his first term bad habit of talking too much. Yes, talking way too much. Santiago. I like what Santiago just wrote. Oh, God. God help us all. All right, crude oil. Crude oil. Notice something. Crude oil. I'm gonna give you a little tip here. Let's move away from all of this. Let's move away from all of it. I'm just upset because, like, why? Why just say something that's completely not true? They're not going to use cane sugar in the U.S. Now, good. Can we now move on? Okay. Jesus, just saying some nonsense. So gold is doing nothing. Crude oil is doing nothing. The reason they're doing nothing, and I'm telling you right now, they're waiting to see the next step from the U.S. dollar, and they're looking to see the next step from the bond market. I'm not kidding. Now, I can't prove that to you, but I'm telling you that both gold and crude oil are waiting for the US dollar to make their next move. Okay? I don't know what he is. I'm not going to label anybody anything. What I'm saying about him applies to every president. I just want a little clarity and honesty. That's all. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for interest rate changes. I'm not asking for tariff changes. I'm good with whatever he does. But just how about just being honest and accurate? Just say Coca-Cola's not going to make cane sugar here in America. It's too damn expensive. That's all. Why lie? Like, for what? What? Here's what I don't understand. What is the goal here? What is, like, the agenda here? Like, why say things like this? Is there a point to any of this? What is the point of this? Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I know it's not political, but it's like, why say things that are just not the true? Elaborate on the dollar and oil next move. Yeah. So here's what I think. The US dollar, see, gold and crude oil are priced in dollars, okay? If the US dollar starts coming up right now, okay, it's going to impact crude oil and dollar prices. If US dollar starts coming down, it's going to take more of the dollar to buy crude oil and US dollar. So I think crude oil and gold are pretty happy being where they're at right now, especially after the run up they've had. But I think if the US dollar starts moving higher, there's a really good chance we'll see it impact crude and oil prices. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's just move on, folks. I got a lot to talk about. All right. Let's put it all together. Attention now turns to U.S. retail sales data. The reports come out in just a few minutes, by the way. We have retail sales and jobless claims right here. Oh, Bob, 8 back surgeries. Ugh. Wow. Whew. Wow. All right. So retail sales, jobless claims, manufacturing, all of these come out. I have my bond market right here. Please let me know how they come out. Just to give you a little preview, jobless claims. Remember last time the number was 200. What was the last? 227, which is so low. This is so low. This is such a good number. No impact of tariffs or firing. None of that on the employment at all. Right as of right now, it may change. The number I'm looking at here, honestly, is 275 or higher. The only reason why it's 275 or higher, most economists would tell you about 325, is because I saw it go up to 275 one time in the last God knows how many years, and then it backed away. All right. So be careful, Bob. Be careful. Be careful. And so I'm looking for this number. So far, we have no indication that to see that the economy has been impacted by this. I haven't seen any evidence at all, except for consumer price data, but not producers' price data. And typically, producers eat it first before consumers. So the fact that producers' data was so positive yesterday is really good again. And if this number is good again, the number will be good again. The problem now I'm having is earnings because some companies are now talking about how tariffs and all of these policies are starting to impact them. And remember, they're only expected to be less than 3% higher. So the carrot is very, very low this quarter, which is not boding well for the market. Mm. Retail sales, I just want the number to be better or where you see how all this is negative? I want the consensus to be positive. As long as there's no negative signs, on the estimate, I'm on the actual number, I'm perfectly good with that. Okay. All right. Just to give you guys some feedback. Again, I am sorry. I don't mean to even talk about Trump. It's just I read this morning and he's all over it. And this is fine. This is the cover of Bar Chart. So it gets me all worked up. President Trump said in an interview with Real American Voice Wednesday, the U.S. is very close to finalizing a trade deal with India. Okay, whatever you say. While a deal with Europe is also possible. Okay, good. Yeah, whatever. I'll see it when I believe it. President Trump stated he would send letters to over 150 countries. We said that. I think he said the same thing 3 months ago. I've completely given up on this whole. I've moved on. I've moved on. I don't even pay attention anymore. I'm just reading it for the sake of reading it. We have well over 150 countries. We're just going to send a notice to. It's not working out anywhere the way he wanted to. I'm just going to say that. And I'm still this whole tariff thing is a big question mark, not just for me, for the Fed. Trump can't have it both ways. If he wants the Fed to give him clear policy, he needs to tell us what the tariffs will be. You can't plan a trip if you don't know where you're going. Okay. Real simple stuff here, folks. All right. Real simple stuff. Let's continue. ASML Holdings slipped yesterday 8%. Um, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Notice what they said. We can no longer guarantee growth in 2026 due to rising uncertainty stemming from President Trump's tariffs. You're going to hear a lot of that this quarter. That is not that the stock will not go up if someone says this. But that's the reality we're in right now. Now, why are companies saying this? Well, because it's true. Because they don't know what will happen. Do you understand? Powell doesn't know what will happen. We can't adjust interest rates till we have some certainty. Certainty. Okay? Certainty. All right. We got producers price index came way better than expected, better than anyone expected, gave the market a little boost. By the way, the bond market is dropping right now. The bond market is dropping, breaking down actually, but nothing crazy. Let's see what the numbers are. Survey says, let's see what the number is. I don't have the number. Does anybody have the number? I love doing this in real time with you guys. Okay, this is positive. That's great. Ooh, wow. Look at this number, man. This is great number. This is a real good number. Real good number. This is telling us the Fed does not need to do anything right now. Interest rates are now, bonds are now, look how they reversed. That's a good number. Let's see what the jobless claims are, but that's a good number. No, they ain't going to be lowering anything anytime soon. Okay, wow, look at this, guys. No negatives. Every number's better than expected. Isn't that great? Move on from what, Jerry? What do you want me to move on from? Can you be a little more specific? What do you want me to move on from? You want me to move on from the retail sales data? I don't know what you want me to move on from. Um, Jobless claims. Ooh, baby. See that? I was worried about 275. Look at this number. The Fed ain't going to do nothing, man. They're not going to do anything. Now, why would the Fed do something? Jobless claims is not going higher. Retail sales is way better than expected. Where's the beef? Why would they need to do anything right now? Would make no sense. Jerry, what is it that I'm saying that's upsetting you so much? You don't like the numbers being good? I don't understand. Tell me. All right, let's continue. All right, let's continue. So the numbers are great. What about manufacturing? The numbers are fantastic. These are great numbers. Well, the market's liking this. Let's see how the SPY's doing. Yeah, SPY's not doing anything. This will guarantee that the Fed will not even come close to lowering rates in September. Yeah, the market's not responding positively. Yeah, they don't like this because this is good news. Yeah, no soup for interest rates. Let's see. Let's see. What import export prices? Not bad. Eh, good manufacturing data. Great retail sales data. Look at this. Better than expected on all counts. Good jobless claims. If I was the Fed, I would do absolutely nothing. You want me to move on from politics? Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Jerry. When our politicians move out of financials, when they keep their nose out of financials, I will keep my nose out of politics. I'm literally reading bar chart, and every place I go, I see inflation, restrictive. Everywhere I go. How can I stop talking about it? You want me to just ignore what I do, basically? Okay. I'm sorry, Jerry, I can't do that because they're interrelated, you see? When Trump says something about Coca-Cola, it impacts me. That's not political. That's financial, my friend. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but that's just the reality of life. Okay. Yeah, the economy is rocking. The economy is rocking and rolling. Uh, okay. All right. I mean, how can I ignore this? It's on the third paragraph of the cover of bar chart, and he wants me to ignore this. Okay, Jerry, I'll pretend that there's no tariff talk, that Trump didn't say anything about Coca-Cola, that consumer staples will not be impacted as a result of what he says. I'll just pretend none of that happened. Thank you, Jerry. I'll just do that, and I'll just keep losing money all the time. Not a good idea, Jerry. You want to have it all in front of you so you know what the catalysts are. That's a catalyst. Consumer staples are a major catalyst today. Understand? All right. Because of what Trump said yesterday. It's not political, it's financial. All right. ASML holding slid because of President Trump's tariffs. Once again, uncertainty. Economic data. Okay, now what does Williams say? This is important. He actually knows what he's talking about. He anticipates tariffs will be bigger impact on inflation in the coming months. Whose tariffs are there? Once again, President Trump's. Of course. Who do you think's driving tariffs? How do you want me not to talk about politics when politics are literally driving the price of bonds and consumer staples this morning? I would be an idiot not to do that. Thank you. Like how, Jerry, so you just want me to like pretend it didn't happen? Maybe I should just buy consumer staples today. Come on, man, get real. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear it, but tough shit. That's how it works. He's all in my business. If he's in my business, I'm going to be talking about it. How the hell am I? Okay, guys, forget about anything Trump said about Coca-Cola. It's not going to impact the market. Forget about anything he said about tariffs, about the letters. It's not going to impact the market. Forget about anything he said about semiconductors. It's not going to impact the market. Come on, are you insane? That's what's driving the market right now. Jesus Christ! Don't talk about he's talking about it. Beige Book survey regional business contracts increased slightly between May and July, representing an improvement over the period, which half of the districts reported at least slight decline in activity, modest to pronounced input cost pressure related to tariffs. Gee, I wonder who's causing these tariffs. It must be Powell, right? Let's blame Powell for these tariffs. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Yeah, folks, let's not talk about Trump's tariffs. They have nothing to do with the economy, right? Jesus Christ. People are just denial or something, okay? Yeah, they're not going to be lowering rates in July or September if this keeps up because the numbers are great. Economy's rocking and rolling. Second quarter earnings are picking up. Netflix, GE, Abbott Labs, Pepsi Cola. Yes, we're going to be watching Pepsi very much because it's very much related to Coca-Cola. We're expected to post an average of 2.8 increase in quarterly earnings for second quarter compared to the previous year, the smallest rise in 2 years. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. When you add this, when you take this with this, no longer guarantee growth in 2026 due to rising uncertainty stemming from President Trump's tariffs. When you add this, half the companies are going to say this in light of this. Do you think that's going to be very bullish for the stock market? Right? Right? Okay. So folks, I'm telling you right now, companies grow on future looking statements. Companies grow on future looking statements. Here's the future alert. We're only anticipating. Remember what this is important. I need to spend some time on this. I always tell you guys, the market always works based on what's going to happen in the future. Whatever has happened already is way, way priced into the price. Okay. Okay. So the market is now looking forward. And I'm going to give you a really good analogy of that. I'm going to give you a really good analogy of that. Nobody knows this better than Elon Musk. Nobody knows this better. He is the king of what I'm teaching you right now. What happened about 3, 4 months ago when he saw that his cars are not doing all that great? He switched the focus of the company to taxis and something else that I can't remember right now. And that carrot got really big again. See, if you ask Elon Musk, how are you going to make money? He's going to say robo taxis and something else. I don't know what that second thing is. I totally forgot. But right now, all the analysts are marking up Tesla stock based on that future. If you were to base Tesla stock on what it's doing right now, it would be about a $10 meme stock. What? Yes, you heard me say it right. If you base Tesla on what it's doing right now, not the future, the stock would be a $10 meme stock. But you see, and I could say the same thing for Amazon 15 years ago too, by the way. Now, I'm not trying to signal him out. It's just he's a perfect example for this. Look what his P ratio is. If you value a tech company at this P ratio without the carrot, it would be a $10 meme stock. We all know that, okay? We all know that. I'm talking about Tesla specifically. I'm talking about Tesla. So a few months ago, if you ask Musk and analysts what's causing why are people buying Tesla now, it's because of the robo taxis and something else. I forgot the second thing. I don't remember what. Maybe I think robotics. Yes, robotics. So Tesla has now shifted. The carrot has now shifted from the cars, from electric cars, to something completely differently. Robotics and robo taxis. Okay. Now it works. I'm going to be honest with you. It works real well because Wall Street is always looking for the next thing, not what happened. This is why we do our catalysts the way we do them every single morning. Because I'm trying to tell you what the market is looking forward, looking ahead to this to price in, not what it's already priced in. If it's already priced in, it's already priced in. Okay? So this is why now let's forget about Musk. This conversation really had nothing to do with Musk. I wanted to use that as because it's the perfect example. The market always discounts anything that's known and is always looking ahead. If Elon Musk said there is no robo taxis, there's no robots, our company is a car company, that stock would start instantly reflecting this PE ratio of 167, which is amazingly high. If you price the stock at 18 PE ratio, the price of the stock will go down to about 100 to about 50, maybe $60. Okay. So, but that's not how it works because we're now Tesla's not a car company. It's a robotic and robo taxi company. You see, cars don't make any difference. Forget about the cars. We're moving ahead. We're discounting with everything that's known. We're moving ahead. Well, folks, the market works exactly the same way. So my point in explaining this to you was just to use Tesla as an example. Okay. I wanted to show you taxi as an example. Okay. So yeah, I don't really care about Trump. I'm only talking about what moves the market. I don't really have anything against Trump or Powell or anybody. I'm talking about the impact on the market. That's all I care about. I don't care about politics. I think they're all crooks and they're all worse and I don't trust any of them. But that's not here nor there. The point I'm making is now the market is pricing this. So, you know, the example I just gave you with Tesla? Now apply that example to the stock market. The stock market's usually, the carrot's usually saying eight. I made this really big because I want to spend some time talking about this. Okay. So 2.8% is very, very little. That carrot is now, instead of that carrot being this big, that carrot is this big. And it's not up here, it's down here. And with that carrot, you've got companies, for whatever reason, forget about Trump, for whatever reason, they're going to be saying this. This is going to be the big right here. No longer guarantee growth, uncertainty. Just forget Trump is part of this sentence, okay? No longer guarantees growth because of uncertainty. That's what a lot of companies are going to say in light of this. Folks, that's very, very dangerous. That's very, very dangerous. Yeah, Bugs. It's exactly what Bugs says. You're paying for Tesla not because of what it's doing right now. You're paying for Tesla because what you think it's going to be worth in 10 years. You guys realize that Amazon was a $200 stock that was not profitable for 10 years? But investors thought it was going to be profitable. You're always paying for the future. You're never paying for right now. Right now is yesterday. Whatever that's known right now is yesterday. The future is where the carrot is. By the way, the market is starting to come up right now, which is really nice. Let me see how SPY is doing. Yes, nicely. Bond market coming up nicely. Good. Very nice. So my point here is, what is it the market's going to discount into its price? If the expectation is 2.8 and half the companies are going to say we can't give you future numbers because we don't know where the tariffs are going to be. That's a big, big problem, folks. Okay? So let's continue. I'm just letting you know we're in a shitstorm right now, unless these numbers can get way ahead. Because what is this market going to be pricing in? This? It needs to price in 8 to 10%, not 2.8%. And I'll bet you once we start taking it apart, when Zacks comes out with all those numbers I give you once or twice a week, we'll see that it's only one or two sectors that aside from one or two sectors, everything is negative. You'll see. Trust me. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. I'd rather be wrong and be surprised, but I think that's what's going to happen. Okay. So my point is, folks, you got to be really careful here. You got to be really careful. Core retail sales were great. Manufacturing was great. Import export. The numbers were fantastic today, which will tell the Fed. Fed is going to be speaking today. They're going to be saying how the numbers are fantastic. Why do we need to lower rates? Lowering rates is when you need crutches. You tell me, where do we need crutches right now? Well, the tariffs. We don't know what the tariffs are going to be. See? See the problem we're in? And that, my friends, is not their fault. That the only person I can blame for that, unfortunately, is our president. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Tell us what they're going to be done with it already, so people can start assimilating price action and putting them into their. How can an accountant, how can a CPA from a company tell you what if they're going to make money or not if he doesn't know what they're going to have to pay in expenses next year? Of course, they're completely tied, Gustavo. He doesn't know what to do. He keeps telling him, tell me what the numbers will be. I'll plug them into the dot summary, and then I could tell you what we're doing. But Trump can't give him those numbers. So Trump wants it both ways. He wants to fire him because he can't give him what he wants, but he can't give him what he needs to give him what he wants. I mean, why is this so complicated for people to understand? It's real simple stuff, folks. It's real simple. All right, Europe is up half a point, giving us a little tailwind. Industrial stocks led the gains. Remember, GE is coming out with earnings. We remain optimistic about potential trade agreement. I've heard that before. I'm hoping they can come up with something. China ended higher as sentiment got a boost from Citi upgrading domestic equities. Really good. Tech stocks jumped on Thursday, lifting Taiwan semiconductors, along with news that NVIDIA will ramp up supplies. This is really good for chip stocks. Right, right. What harm would lower rates cause? What do you mean? Lower rates? How much? Interest rates is how we make money. Higher rates, more money coming in to pay the deficits. What? It would be very bad. It can cause a lot of huge problems. Japan reversed earlier losses and closed higher today as weaker yen boosted sentiment. Pharma stocks led the gains. Benchmark boost from technology stocks. Taiwan semiconductor. Everybody's focused on that. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. There's the catalysts. There's the catalyst. And this is not a catalyst on its own. It's a catalyst in combination with Coca-Cola and ADM. Why is ADM down? Because Trump is just saying stuff again. Why is Pepsi down? Because of this, or up because of earnings. But again, they're related. Consumer staples, they move together. Oracle got an upgrade. If you're still in Oracle, make more money. But I wouldn't say this is a catalyst because this is not a mega cap, but it's pretty close. So keep your eye on network stocks. I mentioned to you yesterday that UAL would be a catalyst. It is a catalyst, but it's down 2%. Keep an eye on airline stocks. Okay? Da, da, da. All right. Let's look at Stock Fetcher. Do we have sentiment moving anything? By the way, I'm working from home today, so I don't have to be in a rush anywhere. Yeah, I know. That's why I said consumer staples are going to be impacted today for nothing. For nothing. All right. Do we have we have some movement here. We have a little bit of movement here. We have Bitcoin, semiconductors, industrial, technology, consumer staples, QQQs up here. We have a little bit of potential for movement. Although the market is fairly fragmented right now, and we don't have a lot of stocks making highs or lows. 53, 7, 65, 18. 129 on the 90-day, but 90-day low, only 20. So we do have some directional momentum, but very, very, very little. All right. Very, 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 very little. All right. Very, very little. Okay. Let's look at the actual sectors. Let's look at indexes. Okay. What did Uncle Roger tell you yesterday was going to happen? I said that there's a really good chance we're going to break through the 8 day and we're going to hit the 15 day. What happened when we hit the 15 day? We backed off right away. We're now back into the zone. We're now above the 8 day EMA. What am I expecting for today? Very, very little. What's the market doing right now? Let's take a look. The market is up 0.12 cents right now, 0.12 right now. The Dow is flat right now. SMH is up 0.38. QQQ is up 0.26. So we have a little bit of an upside in technology. But aside from technology, the broad market's not doing very much, which means I'm expecting more consolidation and choppiness. Let's see. Here's the Nasdaq. You could see how we hit the 15-day, right? Almost hit the 15-day right there. More choppiness inside day, probably inside of this day right here, if I had to guess. Okay. All right. Let's look at Dow Jones. Notice we're not going up on blue chips, folks. Even though we came up here yesterday, notice we're having a hard time getting above the 8 day EMA. And even yesterday, we made a lower low. Don't be surprised if blue chips lagged today. RSP. Notice we're still in this area. Oh, and by the way, I hate to say I told you so, but remember I told you we will touch this red line on RSP? Look at where we're at right now. Whoever's saying we need to lower rates right now doesn't understand that it'll cause inflation to spark like a madman. We can't do that right now. Yeah. Yeah, it would hurt us. It would put us back in inflation mode, and we want to be not in inflation mode. Lowering rates right now is not the idea. Inflation, we're just starting to get inflation under control. I think people are forgetting where inflation was the last couple of years. If you want the Fed to lower rates now, they're just going to have to raise them in a little while. There would be no benefit. We need to have inflation completely under control before we lower rates. Inflation is definitely not under control right now. And we need to have certainty. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me give you some links. Remember, markets are moving up right now, by the way. VIP room, where I will be going from A to Z into my analysis. Now, here's again what I'm going to be teaching in the VIP room today. Putting together a hit list every morning, identifying high probability candidates, making sure price is outside of random zone, locating clean price action, ideal entry criteria, ideal exit criteria, where options fit into the equation, A to Z summary of how to identify high probability setups for day trading and swing trading. And here is Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know anything about the economy. I was only I was only partners with the guy who is supposed to take over Powell's job and the Ivy League professor of Columbia in finance. But I don't know anything about the economy. Why listen to me, right? Ay, vey, vey. I mean, what do I know, right? Okay, look at mags. Mags are starting to come up here, but they're reaching this resistance level. I think mags are going to come back today and touch the 8 day EMA. If mags come to touch the 8 day EMA, we're going to have a little weakness. I mean, why? What? I mean, what does my opinion count anyway? I've only been doing this for 31 years. I've also been partners with the guy that's looking to take over Powell's job 20 years ago. And I've only been partners with the guy who tells economy policy how they're going to who runs the Republican think tank, Charles Colomiris. But what do I know, right? Why listen to me? I mean, I'm just an idiot, right? Um, we need to touch the 8 day. We're a little bit above. So I'm expecting a little more downside. Don't ex Today we may have a little upside in the market, but I think we're going to see some downside first. Yes, and Hassett rode Dow 36,000 right before we had a market crash, Naples fan. Have you looked at when he came out with Dow 36,000? And did I tell you that Hassett is a yes man? Folks, go online and type it. Look, I'm going to show you guys this. If some of you just don't know how to read between the lines. Dow 36,000. When was this book published? When did Kevin write this book with Glassman, the two guys who were supposed to take over what's his name's place? These are the two guys who were supposed they were both part of the think tank. When did this book come out? When did this book come out? Does anybody know? I want you to go do a little research. Look at the date this book came out. 1999, September 20th, 1999. It became published in 2000. Just think about what happened when he wrote this book and what happened right after he wrote this book. Okay? All right. Mags are, I'm talking about people who are really good at market timing. Okay? I told you once and I'm going to tell you twice. Hassett is a yes man. The reason I'm not partners with him anymore is because he's a yes man. All right. What happened after 1999? What happened after that? You keep listening to Hassett or me, and you'll see who you make more money with. All right, let me give you stocks that we're looking at for today for the session. BG. Just look at what happened to the market after he wrote that book. BG, Wendy's, BJ's. This has to break the 200. For all of you who are saying Roger's wrong, Roger's wrong. How often am I wrong? Just I'm asking you, just how often am I wrong? Line, pen, NSP. Those are the shorts. Yeah. The market had a crash after he came out with that book, Dow 36,000. So please, next time you want to hear people who are politicians, listen to them for policy. When it comes to the stock market, you should listen to me. I probably know more. That's my last short. Now let's look at longs. BK, CCJ. I still like CCJ. Did you guys make money this week on CCJ? Yes, you did. BTI, cigarette stocks are up again, and consumer stocks are down. That's not great. I like this stock. Nvidia, I still like Nvidia, actually. No, they didn't. They didn't make a movie. It needs to come back to the 8 day. It's getting a little, it's 1.5 standard deviation ATR from the 8 day. It needs to come back. I'm going to be talking about today in the VIP room. If you missed the VIP room today, it's criminal because I'm going to be really breaking it down. And I'm going to talk about exit strategies, exits. Sophie, Palantir. Can't wait for this thing to cool back down to the 8 day. We're going to want to buy it again. Hood, who made money in Hood yesterday? I'm going to start talking about it, and people are going to start telling me how I don't know what I'm talking about, and how Trump is right, and how Powell is wrong. I mean, let me ask you guys, everybody here who loves Trump, do you not agree that it was completely irresponsible to just say that about Coca-Cola yesterday? I mean, whether you love him or hate him, I mean, come on, why do that? That impacts my business. That's just not cool. Like that just takes away credibility from him. Today I'm going to talk about exits, CP&G. Nice stock. Nice stock. APH. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Beautiful stock. Beautiful stock. So again, my long list, BK, CCJ, BTI. You know what? I'm gonna just post them all here for you, okay? Short list. Short list. BG, when, um, SLP, BJ. Moondog, that's funny. BJ, line, pen, NSP. All right, now let's talk about the long side. BK, CCJ. I'll make a deal with Trump. He doesn't stick his nose in my financial in stocks, and I won't stick my nose in politics. Nvidia, Palantir, Hood, SMR, CPNG, and APH. All right. All right. Now remember, folks, I will be teaching you stuff, and I will not be talking about politics because I just won't have time for it today in the VIP room. As a matter of fact, I hate politics. I despise politics. Here's a VIP room link. Here's the link to customer service live. We won't get it back because of corn farmers. Okay. You really don't, though. It's all connected. Of course, it's connected. I'm talking about Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola today. It's not my fault he stuck his nose where it doesn't belong. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me my 650 people here. Let's see how many thumbs up I got before I go. So feels so good not to be late for work. We only got 242 thumbs up. Folks, we got over 600 people here. Can I get 60 more thumbs up? I'm telling you, it's the people who think I'm talking nasty about Trump don't want to give me thumbs up. They don't like me. Any more thumbs up? Going once, going twice? Let's see if we can make this 300. I know I'm just telling the truth. I know, I know. I wouldn't be doing anything on Netflix right now, but we do have a time spread on AA, and we'll see what's wrong with cane, sugar, and Coke. Nothing is wrong with Boyd. It's just that he's just saying they're going to do it, but they're not. He's basically saying it's 7 o'clock at night right now, and they're telling him, no, it's not. It's 9 o'clock in the morning right now. That's the problem. Do you understand, Boyd? It has nothing to do with sugarcane. It has to do with him saying something that's completely not true. Just making stuff up. That's the problem. You understand? I just want you to understand. He's just making stuff up. That I have a problem with. Okay? That I have a problem with. All right. All right. Four more to go. 305. Yay. All right. Thank you, guys. Boyd, you got to admit, if a president says something that's completely not true, just makes things up, don't you think that's a problem? Don't you think that's something we should be concerned with? Or you think that's okay? Yeah, case of Mexican Coke with real sugar is twice the price of Costco. I didn't say anything about Tesla. Tesla's not on my watch list today. This would make some market trades. Well, remember, Bob 311, Kevin says, I buy Mexican Coke when I drink it, which is not very often. Coke said they are losing. Look, no, they did not, Boyd. Boyd, they did not say that. Stop making things up. They did not say that. They said we're going to continue making things according to FDA requirements. That's exactly what they said. Please stop making things up. Fuck. Boyd, you got to stop this, man. If you can't be honest, then you will never be able to look at the market objectively. He said we're not doing it. We're going to keep doing things according to US to American standards. Okay. All right. If he makes stuff up, that is a well. He's making stuff up. Well, he's Boyd. He just made it up. He said that Coke is going to start using real sugarcane in their products. What does that have to do with reality, Stephen? He needs to retract that. All right, I'll see you guys later. That's all I'm saying, Boyd. Just there's no room for making things up when it comes to financial markets. Bye guys, have a great day. I'll see you later.